Hello, welcome to Geekazoid Tech. I'm Dan Rivera. In this video podcast, I'm going to be discussing the basics of customer service. Customer service is a big, integral part of being an IT technician or a computer technician or working in the computer industry in general, such as technical support, where you field calls from customers who are upset that their computers aren't working. Simple as that. But before I get to that, I'm going to go ahead and thank a couple of people here. Mr. Carey Holzman and Mr. Mike Smith. I'd like to thank them both for helping me find my niche here about customer service and what I should podcast on. Guys, I thank you very much for talking with me personally up there at ChannelCon and helping me say, look, you know, if you got a skill, find it and post it out there, and that's what I'm doing here. Also, Mr. Fruitman. Mr. Corey, I want to thank you for your wonderful product that you have, Instant House Call. For those of you that don't know what Instant House Call is one of the best remote softwares that you can do out there for technical support and for computer work. You can do unattended sessions without having you be there at the client's places or places of business. Go check it out. I'm going to have the links to all the show notes in the notes down below. If you want to go visit Mr. Carey Holzman's YouTube videos, just go look under youtube.com/Carey Holzman. Carey puts together some really awesome computer build videos. Mike Smith puts together a weekly podcast on Thursday evenings, usually, and talks about basically stuff from the trenches and all things technical. They both come together, both Carey and Mike both come together for Tech Vets, and that's at tech-vets.com, and the Mike Tech Show is miketechshow.com. Now, for Corey Fruitman and for Instant House Call, it's instanthousecall.com. Go check those guys out. Those guys are awesome. Thank you again, guys. And without further ado, we're going to get started here. Okay. Generally, I know a lot of us have gone to restaurants or to fast food restaurants, and they messed up your order. Okay, that's commonplace. I mean, stuff like that does happen, but when you go back and you get a completely rude person who doesn't value their job and they're just nasty to you and say, well, if you don't like it, you know, I've had that happen. I'm sure many of you out there have had it happen. You've even called maybe Cox, Comcast, or whatever your internet provider is, and all they are about the business. They don't even say thank you, or they don't even say do this. They don't even say please. They don't say thank you, nothing like that. I mean, they're just like a robot, okay? Customer service involves a lot more than that, okay? I've learned in my 25 years as a technical support representative at Microsoft and other places that's key to making your clients happy and wanting to come back for more. If you want customers to come to you, you have to have customer service. It's the most important thing, other than your dress, how you dress, that you can have. Now, I'm going to discuss a lot of points here about the basics of customer service. So bear with me just for a little bit here. We're gonna discuss different points and things like that. So it's going to all come into place, come into view here. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, generally, guys, understanding the basics of this is basically the essential for success in the IT field. And it includes what we're talking about now, customer service. Good customer service can make or break your business. Oh my goodness, I've seen this so many times, guys. It's just not. I've seen, for example, give you an example. Over here in Arizona, we used to have a company called Alpha Beta, which then became Abco. Abco went down primarily because of their customer services. Nobody wanted to go back. They started losing money, et cetera, and all of a sudden the corporation got bought out by Fry's Food and Drug and Smith's. So I'm sure those of you that live in Arizona, know what I'm talking about. Basically, to ensure your associates remember and use the basics of customer service, it's really, really helpful to either get in there and train yourself or train the people under you how to do this, because it's very important. I learned it the hard way. Basically, they want to emphasize and reinforce more important procedures that are, how should I say this, very important to getting the point across. Okay, I know a lot of call centers nowadays, they emphasize on one thing, and that's call times. Okay, get the customer out in less than, say, for example, 7 minutes and 30 seconds. You cannot do that. A customer, when I worked for Microsoft, I worked for an outsourcer for Microsoft, and you cannot fix an operating system problem within 7 minutes and 30 seconds. There is no way. There's absolutely no way. You cannot fix a problem in 7 minutes and 30 seconds. That happened at AOL when I was there as well. For those of you don't know, it's America Online. So America Online used to be here in town, and I used to be a technical support representative for them. But you cannot get a customer in and out in less than 7 minutes and 30 seconds, because they're going to have a problem that you can't solve, or you're having a long time to solve. It's just, it is not feasible to have a call time, because call times will destroy customer service abilities, because you've got the representative on the phone, or even the IT person out in the field that has to be in and out at a certain time. You cannot have that. That's a constraint that's not good. Okay? Get in there, fix the problem however long it takes. Take your time. Do what you got to do. Talk to your customer. My first point, be positive. In the industry here, you want to establish a positive rapport. Basically, what that means is that you want to be able to get where they're going, get what they're getting, and like, for example, listen to them. So basically, establishing a good rapport with your clients is very important. Most basic way to get them to get off like a customer service call is to, you want to have a good start, is to approach the call or in a positive manner. You want to answer the call with and be really enthusiastic with your tone, and you want to give them a very, very positive greeting. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. People can read attitudes over your voice. I've seen this absolutely. If you call, for example, Joe Schmo Internet Company, okay, and you got somebody that talks like this, thank you for calling Joe Schmo Internet Company. Basically, that person's, you're going to think to yourself, is that person having a bad day? That person doesn't have a good posture. You can tell right off the bat. They don't have a good posture when they sit. They're basically slumped down in their chair like, oh, I don't care. I mean, come on. I don't care about my job. The hell with the customer. I'm just here to make money. That's it. That right there says it all. The voice tone is the best and most powerful thing that you can actually do. Like I'm talking to you now, that is very, very positive. Okay? Positive tone of your voice. Basically, if you have a customer that loses their temper, okay, still be professional and keep your pleasant demeanor at all times, because it's going to show them that you're interested. One thing that I found that works very, very well is if a customer calls you on the phone very upset, I mean, screaming at you. Let them vent. There's no harm in letting them vent. Because basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to have a pad of paper and a pen on your side, like most people do, writing down different points that may be missed. Okay? Oh, my internet doesn't work. I got to get on and put my email. You get a lot of information out of their rants. Okay? And basically, one thing you want to do is repeat things to them. You want to say, oh, so am I understanding your email's not working, or your video card's not working? You know, you don't want to do that. Or you want to do that, actually, I should say. You want to basically restate their issue to them, because that way they can tell that you're listening to them. I love it when somebody restates an issue to me. Like, for example, when I call my internet provider, I say, I'm having a problem with this. I'm pissed off. You know, I'm angry. You know. They repeat it when they repeat it word for word. Oh my goodness, that is the best feeling you can get as a customer, because you're like, oh my God, this person is listening to me. Huh. I like this. You know, like for example, when somebody repeats my order back to me exactly on a drive-through, that I know that they're listening. Okay. In fact, I just went to one last night, and I ordered 2 chicken sandwiches and a double cheeseburger. Okay, the person's like, what? You wanted that? And it took a long time for my order. That really upset me, because it shouldn't be like that. Okay. Now, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to give an angry customer or an angry person on the phone, or even a client that you go see every day, a chance to point out the flaws in your customer service approach, because you have to get right to the point. You don't want them to criticize you right then and there, because that'll kill it. Okay. Now, being positive, give you another idea on being positive, guys. Use your inflection in your voice. You use your inflection in the way you talk, the way you speak. Say, for example, thank you for calling Comcast. I'll use Comcast as a as an example here, because they've gotten more flack today about putting somebody on hold for 3.5 hours. It's online. You guys can go check it out. But the gentleman that was trying to cancel his service, this other guy, he was trying to save the customer. Yeah, I can understand that. You try maybe once or twice. If the customer doesn't want to be saved and just wants to cancel, just cancel it. Don't try and save it. 2 or 3 times is the max that I would do. Are you sure you don't want me to do this? Are you sure you don't want me to do this? Are you sure you don't want me to do this? 3 times. Max. You don't want to sit there and keep asking why. Customers don't have to give you a reason why they're canceling service. Managed service providers out there, guys, I'm telling you what, I see it all the time in managed service providers. They basically say because they need the business. That's their major goal, is that they need the business. And I saw one gentleman one time in a suit and tie, professionally dressed, everything like that, arguing with a customer. Oh my goodness, that will kill you right there, guys. Do not ever argue with a customer. Ever. Be very tactful with the clients. Be very tactful. A lot of people nowadays, in this day and age, I've met, do not have any form of tact. Tact basically means you do not do it in public when you're talking with a customer, or you're scolding them, or it goes for anything in life, guys. Okay, when you have kids, for example, you try not to scold them in public. You don't want to look bad. You don't look bad in front of other people. And on top of that, the child doesn't want to feel like an idiot. Okay, that's what tact means. You take somebody aside and you tell them, say, look, this is not a good idea. Don't do this. Don't do that. I experience it every day. People speak their mind. They're going to. So tactfulness and things like that is important. You don't want to see it. You don't want to ever argue with them in public, or you don't want to ever argue with them, period. Because if you argue with them, chances are you're not going to have any more client. Okay? Or you're not going to have anybody. You're going to lose a customer. Very important. All right, my next point is you want to be consistent. Okay? Your repeat customers expect to kind of have a consistent interaction when they contact you. Okay, say for example you bring in a laptop or a desktop to me. Generally, what I do is I make sure I call them maybe once or twice a day. If I have their computer for a couple of days, I let them know what's happening. I say, sir, ma'am, this is what we're doing right now on your computer, just to give you an update on what we're doing. You don't want to have the customer call you all the time and say, how's my computer coming? How's my computer coming? How are my servers coming? No, keep them involved. Keep them always involved, because if you keep them involved, you're gonna have very happy clients. All right. Always give them a good time frame. And if you have to change the time frame, make sure you tell them in advance. Don't tell them right when they come over to your store or to your office or whatever and say, oh, well, we changed the time, because you're going to have a very upset customer. They had to come down to your office, and then they had to find out that they have to turn around and go back home or go back to their office. Okay? Consistency is key. You want to be able to reassure them that things are going okay, even when you're having problems. Try not to be negative on the phone or in person. Give them a good reason why things are delayed, but try to give them a reasonable time frame when things will be fixed. Don't do an erroneous time frame. Oh, I'll fix it in about 30 minutes. It'll be fixed in 30 minutes, when it will take you about 2 hours. Or basically 30 minutes means call me back in 30 minutes. No, you want to call your clients, and you want to be able to say, look, Mr. Jones, this isn't going to be ready for a couple of hours. We're having problems with this, but we're going to be able to fix it. All right? That is, I tell you, a lot of these points so far, I'm going to mention a couple of times in this podcast that when you can retain customers by good customer service, your revenue will skyrocket. And bad customer service, you know what will happen. There is an old adage out there in the customer service industry. Okay, one person will tell 10 of their friends. We all know that adage. Okay, you'll talk to your brothers, you'll talk to your sisters, you talk to your mom, dad, grandmother, whatever. They'll tell 10 of their friends, and it'll explode like wildfire. So you get the idea. Basically, one person has a bad customer service experience, they'll say, don't use that person, don't use that company, don't use that whatever. You get the idea. So now, another thing I really am a stickler on, okay, is myself as a technician, as an IT technician, and myself as a customer service person. I have the skill to actually talk to a customer in plain English. Like, for example, a doctor some doctors will actually say, well, this is the cardiovascular, this, and this, and you're like, what did you just say? English, guys, English. Okay? What you want to do with a client is you want to go ahead and use analogies, okay, such as, ma'am, sir, let me explain to you how random access memory works. Basically, what random access memory is like gasoline for your vehicle. RAM actually makes your computer go faster, and it makes sure that the computer runs properly and not slow. I consider it gasoline. You know, a lot of people don't, but I use analogies. I tell people, okay, basically what your central processing unit is, sir or madam, is that think of your brain. Think of all the functions your brain does. That's what a CPU does. It gives instructions to this, to this, to this, does that. Simple concepts, guys. Use the KISS principle when you're talking to a client. Keep it simple, stupid. Simple as that. Now, you want to be able to, if they want to talk about the technical aspects of what you're doing, it would be best to either put them in contact with somebody that is actually working on the problem. Don't try to give them all the technical aspects. If you're doing it yourself, great. Explain to them, but in simple terms. Say, okay, your video card, which is this little guy right here, provides the signal to get on the internet. Okay, and just explain it. Explain it. Try to adjust your technical techie jargon to non-technical. And it's very simple. Just use analogies. Analogies will help better explain complex processes. Always does. I've done it, and many of the technical support jobs I've had, guys, when somebody's trying to describe to you a problem, and you use analogies. Oh, okay, it's like this. Okay, it's like this. Like something else is very important. My last point that I've already discussed with all of you is avoid arguing with the clientele. Okay, you can reason with them. You can offer solutions to them. You can pretty much empathize with them. Empathy is a good key for good customer service. Try to get in there and say, I understand what your problem is, sir, madam. Well, let's get this fix started. Try to solve the problem. Okay, don't go in and immediately argue with them and say it's their fault, because if it's their fault, basically they're going to use somebody else who doesn't argue with them. Basically, when you argue, it's basically the process of trying to prove that you're right while they're wrong. Okay. Say, for example, they have a virus on their computer. Oh, do not tell them that it's their fault. I said, well, things like this happen. We have all kinds of nasties out there. It's not really your issue. I mean, just try to tone down. Give them a solution. Try to tone down on some of the sites that you go to. Try to explain to them that this site is bad. That I personally wouldn't go to it. Offer them software solutions such as Web of Trust or like Malwarebytes or something like that. Whatever. Give them an option. It's very difficult to get them to discuss the issues, okay? Because some people are like, just fix my issue. I've had a lot of that. Just fix my issue and be done with it. Don't explain it to me. You'll have those customers. The best way to handle those customers is just to fix the problem. Okay? If you accept the responsibility that you're going to fix the issue, people love when you accept the responsibility. Say, for example, you build a computer. Okay, Carey, I'm going to pick at you a little bit, but say, for example, Carey builds a computer. Carey Holzman will build a computer for a customer, and he will go in and offer them a warranty. Okay? Warranty will guarantee that computer works for a year, 2 years, however long he does it, and it will focus on the core issues of operation of that computer only. If something else breaks, it's not covered under that warranty. Say, for example, a customer tampers with it. It's not covered. This is where it can get kind of jittery, guys, okay? And that's where people put up their guard, because they expect that since they paid a lot of money for that computer, you're going to complete disposal. Oh, yeah. I get it every day. I've got a client right now. I'll give you an example. I got a client right now who I fixed his operating system. I fixed his problem. I got rid of all of his viruses. Now he expects me to be at his beck and call without paying me. That's not going to happen, and I will not argue with him about it. I tell him, I said, look, I charge per incident, not per computer. You know, and that's what you have to do. You have to stand your ground on some things, but don't argue with your customer, because you'll lose your customer. There's some clients that you kind of want to get rid of, I know, but because they're paying. But don't argue with them. Say, look, it would be beneficial for you to find another service provider, because I can't provide what you're looking for. If they ask you why, don't go in, just give them an honest answer without arguing. Say, look, I can't meet your needs of what you want. I'm unable to. So that's the basics, guys, for right now. I mean, the basics of customer service at this point is to follow those points. I'm going to go into other things that you can do. I've got little secrets of my own that I use when I talk to people on the phone or I talk to people in person. Like I said, I'm not a good person to talk to. I'm a shy person. You know, as you guys can see, I'm just staring at a camera. I'm not staring at somebody's eyeballs. Okay? I'm staring at my own eyeballs. So this is kind of new to me, doing a video podcast. So enjoy. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with another episode here within a week or two about different styles, different styles of people that you're going to deal with. I'll explain how that works out. Different styles of people, like technical people, this, that, and the other. It's to come. You'll see, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast, and I thank you for watching. Remember to visit the links below for Carey and Mike over at Tech Vets and at the Mike Tech Show, and also visit Carey Fruitman over at Instant House Call. You can also visit us on Geekazoid Tech on YouTube, youtube.com/Geekazoid Tech, and twitter.com/Geekazoid Tech. And you can also visit our website at geekazoidtech.com. For now, have a good one, guys. God bless.